Hello everyone and welcome to Rad Chat live at UKIO. My name is Ahmed Anderson and I'm joined by fellow host
Joe McNamara.
So we've got a lovely guest here who's been highly recommended. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Ahmed Ifthaker, a radiotherapy physicist who works at Bar System at NHS Trust. But I'm out and out sustainability champion and advocate of environmental sustainability within NHS, within radiotherapy and beyond.
Brilliant. So what made you go into being a physicist?
Well, I did my degree in physics and then I wanted to do something in medicine because I had some stories behind it, which I'll probably tell another day. And then did my master's in medical physics and then did the Route 2 training and became a registered clinical scientist, and that's it, going on.
Never look back.
Radiotherapy is exciting. Radiotherapy is, I say to the trainees, is riding on a roller coaster. Be you a radiographer, be you a dosimetrist, be you a physicist, it's always, you have always, every day is a high end. It's quite interesting.
Why sustainability? Why is that important to you?
So I was born in Bangladesh, was badly affected by the environmental changes, and I work for NHS. So NHS produces around 5% carbon footprint for the country, and all worldwide as well, it produces 5%. So if you think NHS 5% in terms of worldwide healthcare carbon production, so if you think healthcare as a country, you will be probably one of the 5 regions. If you list the 5 countries or 5 regions, healthcare will be in top 5 producing the carbon footprint. So we need to work on that because there is a cost of life connected to the carbon footprints that we produce every day. So there is a rule of thumb: production of around 1,000 ton of CO2 equivalent would cost a life somewhere in the world. We are saving life in one side, we want to save life on the other side as well. So that's the motivation.
And that's often what people don't necessarily realise, isn't it? That actually what we do has an impact, not even necessarily on the UK, but in other parts of the world.
Yes. So another, this I don't want to be a trivia interview, but again, you have in Europe or Western countries or America, you're producing 6 to 8 tons of CO2 a person, whereas the affected people in Africa or Southeast Asia or Asia, you have a person probably not producing half a ton. But we really need to reduce the carbon footprint produced individually so that the global temperature is within the Paris Climate Agreement, which is probably 1.5 degree, which is probably not possible if everybody is not involved. NHS has a great big workforce. Everybody is very motivated and they are quite empathetic. So if we use that workforce, we have a game changer equation in our hand.
It's interesting as well with radiotherapy. So in the UK, I always use this example as a department I worked at where the coolers for the Linux were on the roof, and it was 35 degrees, whatever, and the water was bubbling, and so you don't want that, and then we couldn't treat, and we had to kind of go until 1 in the morning when it was a lot cooler. But this is something 40, 50 years ago when the department designed. Didn't have to think about it. Whenever people say climate change, not sure, I'm like, that is the example. That is exactly what's happening here for our patients.
Yes, and also if you go, I was not very prepared for this, but if you think about the direct implication of climate change in the UK for our patients, there are cancers that are probably directly linked to the changes in our environment. But we're bringing out radiotherapy because I am a radiotherapy physicist. Radiotherapy is probably not the biggest emitter of carbon footprint within NHS. We probably produce 0.07%. But then again, we have a model that RCR has introduced, which I'm trying to advocate a lot for departments to follow. Because what NHS did a few years ago, NHS said NHS wants to be carbon neutral. They want to be making every NHS trust carbon neutral by 2040. And the suppliers by 2045. It's a huge task. It's a few years down the line because in 2028 to 2032, NHS wants this reduction to be 80%. So we need to act.
Yeah. And what are we doing what can we do in radiotherapy?
We are doing a lot of things. We just need to quantify. So my talk today was little by little, a little becomes a lot. So we unknowingly do a lot of things. But one of the biggest radiotherapy carbon cause is because we are in our patient department, we bring a lot of patients every day. So if you are having a lot of fractionation for a cancer treatment, you are causing 70% for the travel for that fraction of carbon footprint. So hyperfractionation is a way forward, which is clinically very good, scientifically proven, and environmentally good. So that's a good way to save the planet as well.
What about AI? You know, I know AI is talked about all the time. We use AI a lot in radiotherapy. It's probably going to be increased with adaptive radiotherapy. Your face is going, oh no, I knew she was going to ask about AI, but
You can't not though with sustainability. Surely
it is a challenge for us in radiotherapy.
Yes. I would say we have to be careful when we are not using Google and using Copilot, for example. In terms of patient treatment, what I see when I was talking about, I'm going to go back to my talk again. We always do QI, be it a clinician, be it a radiographer team, or a physics team. We always do QI. What we are trying to do when you're doing QI is reduce steps so that you increase efficiency. Obviously, this adaptive radiotherapy is increasing efficiency and making the patient's treatment plans better. Probably on the day of treatment, you are adapting the plans. But then again, this is good use of AI. But we have to use it such a way that we do not abuse the AI and harm the environment. That's the take home. This is a big controversial topic. I probably don't want to.
I sat on the tube a few weeks ago in London. Not that I was trying to look at the lady's phone next to me, but she had put her own photo in and asked ChatGPT, is it stress or distress for this evening? That's the type of AI that everyone uses at the minute. Very different to what you've just explained.
I mean, yes. I mean, as a scientist or healthcare professional, we probably have to think carefully when we are using AI because of the power consumption. And yeah, that's probably a conservative statement, but I think I don't qualify at the moment.
I think you do qualify, but because it is about, exactly as you said, thinking about sustainability in everything we're doing. So rather than just implementing something because it's efficient, you need to think, well, is it also sustainable? And that's maybe something that we don't always do. We think about something and implementing it, for whatever reason that might be, whether it's efficiencies or patient care or whatever. I think it is just about making sure that we're also thinking, is it sustainable?
And also, when you're using it, probably you're summarizing a document. A lot of times, you probably have to double check the sources and all this. They're probably not very ready yet. But going back to the RCR, because I'm trying to advocate this to the radiographer community and the clinician community and the physics community. This will help every radiotherapy department to actually track their carbon footprint and be prepared for the NHS net zero goal. That is something that I think every department could look into. Because you just need 15 points to get a gold standard. BARTS has received 15 points. It was a multidisciplinary team effort. A lot of radiographers were involved because they are the largest operational team. Physics and clinicians were involved as well. Because of my passion towards it, I try to make sure that every little small wins that you're doing, be it saving one paper not to be printed in your department, making sure your patients are not coming 2 days or 3 days and they're coming on the same day, optimizing patient travel. These are probably very good in terms of patient care and also environment. And other departments actually can learn from this. So if this is a radiology department, they can probably optimize their patient travel this way as well. So that guideline through ICR, GRTF could actually help the whole community as people who are actually dealing with ionizing radiation, or even MR, or even ultrasound. because that gives you a guideline on how to reduce carbon footprint. Very easy wins, very effective, and you actually see a result if you quantify it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us on the Rad Chat so far, and we'll link some nice resources along with your episode for anyone who wants to find out more.
I feel like we need to get you back for a proper episode though, because I've got so many more questions I want to ask you. So, yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.